Hello and welcome to another edition of 5-Minute Features. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the AI functions. They are built in, AI functions inside of Databricks. They were recently moved, so you can actually see them inside of Unity Catalog. And we're going to take a look at what each of them does and how you can use them in your daily work. So as mentioned, they can be found inside of Unity Catalog. So in the system AI, there are functions. And the cool thing about that is previously you had to access them either through just calling them in SQL or through the Agents tab. So if you hit Agents here and create a new agent, you can actually reference these functions as your agent base or basis. The cool thing about them being in here is you can actually govern permissions as if they were regular functions or UDF that you have created yourself. So you can actually go and actually manage who can use them in your daily work. So you'll notice there are three over here. So there's classify, which is like a sentiment analysis. So it can classify text into different sentiments that you specify yourself. You have AI extract, which is meant to extract specific data points from text, and you have AI parse document, which is your ability to parse PDFs or images into a large JSON struct, and then you can use them as regular data points from there. So if we head over here, I've actually just done a mini demo of each of them. Well, I haven't. Genie has for me. So first off, AI Classify, we're going to be using the Samples Bakehouse Media Customer Reviews because that has some text in it. You can see that I have specified three different sentiments. There's a positive, a negative, and a mixed. I've given a description of what I think a positive review would look like. Then I've done this little map with instructions. So these are custom reviews for a bakery chain called Bakehouse. Classify the overall sentiment. This is the instruction to the LLM, right? So you'll see here just a snippet of the actual review. Some of these are quite long, but this is just to get an idea. So you can see over here, the first one says a delightful cookie experience at the bakehouse. So I would assume this is positive. Then you have one here saying Bakehouse in Fitzroy, Melbourne has disappointed me with their Outback oatmeal. Oatmeal, sorry, not oatmeal. I would expect this to be a negative. You can see over here that the sentiment actually gets output as a JSON struct, so you can actually you can point these out and have them as a single response. But you see up here, this is a positive. We have another positive, and then the one that I would expect to be negative, it is indeed a negative. So this is just an easy way for you to do sentiment analysis on data, on structured data. Something that used to be could be quite an undertaking if you were to do it yourself. Similarly, we have AI extract. So AI extract, you can ask to extract specific fields. So in this case, we've gone with the location city, products mentioned. So if they mention any specific products, rating if they mention that, and a recommendation if they recommend visiting or not. So same 5 reviews, same data, right? Different instruction. These are customer reviews, extract, and then a description of what it's supposed to extract, right? So for the first one here, we can see that for the location city, it says Kagoshima. So that's one here. Products mentioned, it mentions Outback oatmeal. It also mentions Austin almond biscuity and orchid oasis, blah, 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 all of these. For the rating, it doesn't actually give any, so there's no rating inside of the review itself. And the recommendation says true, so it does recommend it. You can go through them down here, so you can see this mentions some different products. Also doesn't give a rating, but does give a recommendation. If we go down, here's the one that we saw as a negative sentiment analysis. You'll see that this one does a recommendation to be false. So the rating part, that might not be relevant. If I remember correctly, these are actually in the data set in a different column, right? So this is just Genie's interpretation of what would be interesting to extract from here. But you can see we can extract specific values from large chunks of text, and I think that's really useful. And you can decide how it should be referenced as well, right? You can see here that there's type specifications. So if you want that, you can actually specify something to be a JSON struct within the JSON struct and these kind of things. Last one is the AI parse document. So you can see here I've pointed it to the to a file in this volume. Basically, it's the background photo that you saw in the beginning of this presentation. So just a simple photo with a couple of text boxes. So you can see here it has a document here. It has some confidence intervals on whether or not what it has extracted is believed to be true. So there is a box found at these coordinates that has the text 5-minute features. Then there is another box that has the content called AI Functions. And then there's the metadata of the actual file, which is in this case doesn't really that interesting. But you can imagine that if you have documents that are structured in the same way, it could be invoices, for example, where you always want to extract the invoice number and the customer ID or the customer name, and these are always in the same coordinates. Then you can start pointing out these coordinates, and you can kind of dot through your JSON struct, and you can actually extract these very, very easily. Again, an undertaking that could be that could in past times be very difficult to set up, and these are just available out of the box. If you want to, you can actually specify what models these should be run with as part of the function call. If you don't, Databricks basically chooses the most appropriate model based on their experiences. So you can tweak that yourself if you want to. So that was AI functions. Is that something you see yourself using in your daily work? Yes or no? Well, in any case, have a very nice day.